This is Renewing the Man. Clarity under pressure. The weekly call to bring clarity to your situation.
Yeah, doing all right. My general manager for the whole store came up last night. We went for dinner and drinks.
Uh-huh.
Little rough.
How did it go?
Good. Yeah.
Did you tell him how the store needs to be remanaged?
Andy.
What up?
Hey, what up? Oh, look. So he's in the green machine, the green time machine.
Yeah. I'm actually not riding in the truck. You're going to be able to hear. It's going to be quiet. No background noise.
Nice. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Just living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
Uh-huh. So what's going on your? Let's check in, Andy. What's going on in your end?
Oh,
Everything.
Sitting in legal land, man. Sitting in legal land, doing discovery, which I kind of sit back and laugh because I joked with Garrett. I was like, this is what my entire professional career has prepared me for. It's just like getting ready for a merger or an acquisition, just compiling data that I have gobs of to just throw in the folders. But when that discovery goes back the other way, she's gonna shit her pants. So
Hey, does anyone else hear lots of bells in the background or no?
That's I'm
This
the
is
one
Wally.
with the bells. I got the church over here.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is it, Christmas? Like,
it's where I got bells every hour on the hour here in Slovenia.
I thought it was a technical. I thought it was a technical sound loop that kept playing in my mic or something. I was like, trying to hear Andy talk.
You got bells in your ears, buddy.
Most likely.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. Just prep for mediation. And yesterday it was hilarious because I had requested without doing the full discovery because my attorney didn't think it was necessary yet. And the crap that she sent back was a joke. I mean, it did make me upset because she's now sandbagging her company, trying to make it look bad, like it makes no money. I was like, come on, you're trying to play the game with the wrong person here. I know. The court knows. Everybody's gonna know. But anyhow,
because you have all the financials or access to the financials, right?
Yeah, I run the books. I know where every penny is.
Wow.
And yeah, and she's trying to say, oh well, it's going down because I'm gonna scale back. And I'm like, that'd be like me saying I'm gonna go start working at a grocery store next week. What are we talking about here? That's not gonna fly. Yeah, but it's just the pettiness. It's funny. It literally is at this point. It's funny just getting I was going to take my one daughter to go do karaoke, which is filled with old people, mind you. This isn't like some raging bar anywhere, and it starts at 7:00. And she's like, "I'm not okay with this." I was like, It's the same place that me and your son go and have lunch at about once a month, but it's fine now. I mean, it's just a little petty crap. Like I said, it's just funny. It's like you're really grasping at straws here.
Wow. Can you find what the silver lining is for her? Why she is going? Like, if you go the last few months and we go back, right? You go back in your mind's eye and you go back to the fine line. Okay, we know that she wasn't heard or understood, and you try to fix her, try to please her, try to help her.
Yep.
Right, and then your daughter goes off to college, you get the new dog, and then you have this business, right? So her nervous system gets overrun.
Yep.
Right, and then if you can pinpoint what is, or what do you feel is the the fine line that's created this for her? Can you see it? Can you understand it?
I think from her perspective, it's when I went and got legal counsel, when she said that I want to be separated and I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving, put that in an email. That's when I was like, all right, I have to start protecting myself and my kids. And so I did. I reached out to. I didn't have anybody engaged. I did not lie. I told her the truth the whole way. I was like, I've got 5 different people that I'm going to be interviewing between now and at that point. It was like I had appointments running through March, and that's when she filed. And so I had to choose an attorney. I had to engage. I didn't even get to interview everybody that I wanted. But I think in her mind, that was me drawing a hard line in the sand, even though I definitively said over and over, I was like, this is me just protecting myself. I have to get some advice. And the advice was, do not leave that house. Do not leave that house. Across the board. And so she felt that was me being defiant and not giving her space. And that's when I offered, hey, do you want your own place? I was like, we'll pay for it. I was like, I can't leave. I was like, I've been advised to not leave. I was like, you as a female, you're going to be fine if you want to leave. I was like, despite what I'm sure the attorneys would tell me, I'm going to shoot you straight. If, kind of gave her some ammo, which was probably stupid. I was like, if I leave, it shows that I'm abandoning, and that helps your case. I was like, I can't do that. And that's when I was like, hey, do you want to get your own place? And it was, yeah, that sounds great. That's exactly what I want to do. And it's like, start looking. And then she changed again through the advice of her attorney, and it was starting this whole nesting thing. So it's a very long answer to a short question. That's, to me, what I feel triggered that. And then all along, like I said, I've been consistent with, not being argumentative, not getting into it. When we had met for the like 2 or 3 times that we had face to face, staying calm, cool, and collected, let her dump it, let her dump it all out. And I would take it and I'd admit to it. If there was stuff that it was on my plate, I'd admit to it. Like, I didn't love you I did not love you the way that God intended love to be. As far as when he describes what love is in Corinthians, I can admit I didn't do those things perfectly. And find me a man that can. But again, I'm not making excuses for myself, but I was like, I did not agape love you. But where I've landed is I have not broken the marriage covenant. I'm still here. But the covenant takes 2 people. And she has definitively said she does not want to reconcile again. Like I said, she's now with the attorney, filed for formal discovery, which, talking with Greg, he's like, Andy, formal discovery didn't show up for me until like it was go time, like the full blown divorce. And he's like, man, that's a hard line in the sand. And so that's what's kind of shifted me from being, full bore, let's try and make this work at all costs, to, all right, this is what you want. Let's roll. We'll do it. We'll do it. And like I said, now the stupid legal games are starting to be played, which again, it frustrates me because I know the game that's being played, but it makes me laugh at the same time.
The lawyer's trying to win for her, right? As much as
they can. Yeah. I mean, they're trying to just make it where she has, like, her business is worthless. Like, how is your company that is growing going to make less money this year than it did last year? Because she threw together some piece of crap financials, and again, it just made me laugh. I was like, you guys are playing it. Y'all think I'm dumb? I know the game you're playing. You're trying to make the asset not be worth what it is and act like it has no value, so you can continue to suck alimony out of me. But it's like, no, that thing's going to be kicking off cash like nobody's business, unless you purposely, put it in the mud, which I know that's what they're trying to do, is put it in the mud, because if she has to sell it, then she'll have to sign a non-compete. Well, if it has no value and doesn't get sold, well, now she can just take her toys and go do it somewhere else. So again, I'm like, let's play. No, we'll sell it. If we got to sell the thing $50,000, you sign a non-compete. I don't care. but you're not screwing me. But anyhow, that's kind of where all of that lands today.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel? That you're in this with the woman you loved and the mother of your children, that you're now in this position with her.
It's frustrating, but it's showing me what her true colors are. And I'll tell you something that's interesting. I went back because one of the discovery things, it was very broad, and it said, all emails ever sent to her. And so I'm a weirdo and I don't delete things. So I went into my old Yahoo account and I just typed in her email address going all the way back to 2007. We had just been married, just had our first child, and the exact same things that are happening today were happening in 2007, because it was me shooting an email to her saying, hey, you're detaching, you're going off by yourself. I just want to have a conversation with you. And you're detaching, you're not communicating with me. What can I do differently to try and have communication? And it just made me laugh. I'm like, that's that far back. I don't even think our daughter was born yet. I think we had just been married. And her response was just, "Oh, I'm getting used to this new lifestyle and blah blah blah." And so it was just interesting to me looking back of like, she's shown me her true colors for the last 19 years. I have kind of swept a lot of it under the rug to be the good man, to be the good husband, or at least what I perceived that to be, of committed, taking care of everybody. But again, all that I will wholeheartedly admit, could I have loved better? And the answer is 100% definitively yes.
No.
So,
but what I heard what I heard here, and I recognize this from my relationship with Svetlana, is that she married you for security. She didn't marry you for love.
100%. And I've made that comment to her more than once. I was like, I feel like you married me just because you got knocked up. I was like, let's face facts. We dated for like 3 months. You got knocked up. We got married. And you've always said you didn't feel love from me. And I was like, I don't think. And at that point in time, I was like, I don't know if I have the capability to make you feel that. I don't know. Again, if I would have, from my perspective, had true agape love, which is, forgives everything, keeps no records, does all those things, it could have potentially gone differently. But to your exact point, that's been my standpoint for a long time, is she never felt love because maybe I'm not that guy. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. That's what I've learned in my study about, biblical love, is once you get past what true agape love is a choice. And it's a choice to love the other person despite any and all faults. And like I said, I've turned a blind eye to a lot of crap over the years, and she doesn't have that same love towards me. So that's okay. It hurts and it stings, but I mean, I'm almost 6 months into this thing now, and just seeing her true colors continuing to show will not have a phone conversation. Everything's text and email. I'm like, no, this has been a legal game from you for months, and I've just been dumb and kind of, by trying to have a phone conversation or sit down conversation, because that's where true emotion shows up to me, is when you can look somebody in the face, and she doesn't want to do it. So I've accepted it. I've accepted it. Like I said, I've accepted it. For me, kind of the last part of acceptance for all of this is for my kids. It was tough this week. My oldest daughter came back from college, and we sat down for dinner. Christy wasn't there. And, when we got done, Elena went outside, and I went out and she's bawling. And I was like, "What's wrong, baby?" And she goes, "I've been gone from school. At school. And so I haven't been living this, but it's weird. Like, we'll never have dinner together again." She goes, I didn't realize like the last time we had dinner together was the last time we're going to have dinner together. And And like my son was making a comment, oh, it's so good that that the four of us are here. And he's used to it. Like I said, he's been in it. But for her, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, for Rex, the 13-year-old to have to stop what he's saying. And she goes, it's all hitting home. And so that's the
Yeah.
part that sucks. And is the continued hurt for them, and how she keeps, like I said, she's told my son, no, we're not getting a divorce. She flat told my son a week ago, we're not getting a divorce. And I'm like, your actions don't match your words. Please
Yeah.
stop lying to them. Just stop lying to them.
Yeah. Well, I can feel the frustration in that, and the hurt, and that, the anxiety, like right here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just the lies.
Yeah.
I don't deal well with a thief, and I don't deal well with a liar. And when you start lying to control, there was an incident last night. And Nathan, tell me to shut up if you ever want to chime in, man. I'm not trying to own this thing today.
Oh, you're all good, man. No, this is
Yeah.
I'm with you, buddy. I'm hearing you.
But there's
no worries.
We all
there was an
relate to this.
incident.
This is great. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But there
Yeah,
was an
go on.
incident last night where our dog basically attacked my son. He was outside calling me, and all of a sudden he's like, "Daddy, hang on!" And the dog never gets let out on a leash, without a leash, and Christy just let the dog out the back door. The dog got overly excited, started getting really aggressive with him, and I'm just on the phone. All I hear is the dog growling and Rex breathing heavy. And so I hang up and I call her, because I'm not at my parents' house. I'm on the way home, and I call her. She doesn't answer the phone again. And so I immediately text, what's going on? Sounds like Rex getting attacked by the dog. And so then I call my daughter. She answers, and she was like, yeah, well, Mama answered the phone. I go, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. I was like, that's why I'm on the phone with you. And then Rex comes over, because I finally get home, and he's in tears because she blamed him. He's in tears. He's like, I was just trying to stop her, but Mama got upset because, I was pushing the dog down. And I was like, no, you were protecting yourself, buddy. I was like, you didn't do anything wrong. And she sends me a text message this morning. She waited till 6 a.m. This was at 8 o'clock last night. Waits till 6 a.m. so she could either call her attorney or whatever to give this PC response, basically blaming my son for the whole thing. And I was like, this is your fault. I was like, I didn't say that, but in my mind, I was like, this is your fault. I was like, when I'm at that house with that dog will sit by my side and not move. I was like, you bring this negative, just crazy energy into the house. But she gets mad at Rex if Rex pushes the dog down or puts the dog away when she's being aggressive.
Yeah.
And the poor kid's, he just wants to do the right thing. And I had to tell him yesterday, buddy, you've got to quit apologizing for things that aren't your fault. I was like, I'm all about taking extreme ownership. This is not you. I was like, this is not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. I was like, you can't continue to have this. So anyhow, that's just the latest. It's all this spin cycle of her blaming, which it dovetails into like what we talked about with Greg, of her being a covert narcissist. That is clinical to the T, of her posting blame on everybody to save her own ass. She set me up for another thing where she told the kids that I was invited to the house for a little prom get together for my daughter, knowing I can't come over without her express written permission. Have I been invited to this? No. So when I don't show up, I look like an asshole that just didn't want to show up. So it's all these little things that are just the little jabs. And I'm like, this is who you are. I understand who you are now.
I went through the same thing with Svetlana, and it's hard because she plays the victim. She does exactly. I think Svetlana even asked me at one point. She goes, "I think I'm a narcissist." It's like 7 years ago, before the whole divorce thing really went into its full throttle, and when I got time out of the relationship, when we got divorced, and I was still betrayal, the hurt, the pain, the evil bullet that I had a nasty evil bullet. I mean, it was really terrible, and Nick can tell you how bad that was. Actually, not a we can't call it bullet anymore. Like trauma, insecurity. It was really bad. I mean, I wanted to like it made me crazy, right? And it wasn't until you know where we were separated. She had this guy, and then she dumped him, or he dumped her, and then she had another weirdo situation. Then finally, she decides to come back and live with me, right? And then I'm in this relationship with her for 2.5 years, but she's like a roommate. There's no intimacy. There's no real deep connection. It's like she's just there to ride on my financial
Mm-hmm.
tail. And then now she left, right? Now that she left, I got to see who she really is. So she doesn't take accountability. She doesn't take responsibility. She puts everything on everybody else and expects everybody else to do it for her, right?
Yep.
Before she left a year ago on her birthday, I said, I'm tired. You know what? You want me to do this, you want me to do that, but there's not one thing you will do for me. You won't help me with this. You won't do this for me. I'm tired. I'm tired of Princess Svetlana. I said this in text. I'm tired of Princess Svetlana, who wants to get everything her way. When it comes to me and I ask for something, it's a straight no on everything. I'm tired. And she goes, "Oh, this is not the life I want to live." I'm like, "It's not the life I want to live either."
Yeah.
There's no peace in that. And yeah, this moment, this time, going through what you're going through is the most painful, especially for you and the kids, and try to navigate, right? And keep yourself emotionally grounded and keep yourself like on a focus on the objective here is to get out clean as can be, right?
Yep.
But still be able to lead those kids,
That's right.
making sure that you rid yourself of any resentment, anger, frustration, hurt from her, because she's still the mother of your kids, right? We don't want to put her down
Yep.
in front of the kids. They'll figure it out on their own. But your job is to show up, and making sure that you can lead those kids in a powerful way. Even and like as we discussed too, the possibility of even like doing some inner child stuff with them and coaching them.
Yeah.
That would be very helpful, just to release that pressure, right? So we talk about. You remember when we talked about that energy that when the man leads into the house when he comes home from work, and the wife either comes and she's like, "Yeah, you did this, you did this." I'm like, "I just came home from work. I worked from 7 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're on my ass for what? Oh,
Yep.
I need this, I need this." I'm like, "I'm dead tired." Like, but that you're coming home to this every day, and how's that going to make you feel, right? So if we don't relieve, take that pressure off, right? And the same thing, that pressure gets built up as an energy, right? And we see you felt how that energy shifts and moves in you, and then how that can leak out of you onto the kids, how it leaks out of your wife onto the kids.
Yeah.
Right. So your job here is okay. You're getting divorced.
Yep.
It's locked in. She's not willing to reconcile. I went through that with my ex-wife. She did not want to reconcile at all. She had no interest in reconciling. She was more interested in this little fuck boy. All right, making him like a stepdad to my kids, and then abusing my kids while she was with him, doing everything to protect him and not protect the kids. So my son will tell you, "Oh, I was on my computer," and my son was like, "Oh, I'm going to talk to my friends right now on the computer," right? And then Lewis, the guy at the time, said something to her, and she came off and grounded him off his computer because of Lewis. Right? The same behavior that your wife is expressing. She's putting blame on others without taking the responsibility of herself. So that's the thing here is I can feel the tension of all of that and how you wanting to protect the kids, but that's also you protecting yourself by relieving yourself of that emotion and that energy and that stored um, uh, anxiety. Like I'll bring it over to Nick and what Nick lived. Right, Nick lived in that whole house, and he had a basement suite. He moved down to the basement suite while his wife is upstairs banging this guy.
Yep.
And Nick is downstairs.
Yep.
So I'll let Nick take over and fall through with what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So my wife wouldn't talk to me. She would literally run away from me every time that she saw me. She would turn around and leave the room.
Mhm.
Everything done via text message, and it was crazy. Like, it was absolutely crazy. And so then we were separated. So she felt that she could date. We weren't divorced for 3 years. Even still, we're not officially divorced because I haven't gotten the final documentation saying, congratulations, you're divorced. So she was living her best life. I was paying for everything. She wasn't paying anything towards the house, anything towards her car payment, anything for food. And then she wouldn't let me upstairs. So I stopped paying for food because I couldn't go into the house and provide groceries for my kids. Because, oh, this is my space. You can't come into my space. I feel violated every time you come into my space. I'm like, you're not even here. Like, what do you
Yep.
mean feel violated? Like, how is that even a thing? Oh, it's my space. You shouldn't be in my space. I'm like, it's my house. I'm living in my house. My kids are in this part of the house. She would say that she's going to be coming home at specific times before whatever, and she'd stay out all night, stay over elsewhere. And I had made promises to my daughter, I won't go to bed until mom gets home. So I stay up all night because I wanted to be a man of my word to my kid.
Yep.
You're crazy, Nick. What are you doing? Like, this is, you should be sleeping. You shouldn't be doing something. Well, I told my kid that you said you're going to be home at midnight, and you weren't. You're not answering any of my text messages. You're not doing anything. So what am I supposed to do? Stay up. Oh, I fell asleep on a friend's couch. I'm like, okay, sure you did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
But-
that's to give you the right. I just want to talk about the comparable. Right. Go into
Sure.
that.
So there's so when I went through all of the discovery and everything, there's a whole bunch of stuff that she said that I did, but she was doing all sorts of stuff as well, right? And I had it all in text messages. She physically assaulted me. Like, my daughter wasn't listening. I said, give me your phone. She said, no. I took her phone away from my daughter physically. She went inside. Dad pushed me. I didn't push my daughter. I just took her phone away. It was in her hand. I took it out of her hand. My wife comes storming out, doesn't ask any questions, starts yelling in my face, starts pushing me, grabs my glasses off my face, throws them on the ground. Like, I'm just being calm, talking to her. I just finished shoveling the driveway so I could go to work, so I could pay for the house that we're staying in.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you're crazy. Your emotions are just overwhelming you, and you're so hurt that you can't see anything, and there's no reasoning with you at all. And it was at that point that I was like, okay, well, there's not much I can do other than just let this all play out.
Yep.
And I didn't move things forward with the divorce. Anytime she asked for documentation, I gave that to her. But I knew being in the house was the most important thing for me to do, to be there for my kids. And so I didn't leave. And so it wasn't until we sold the house that we had to leave. And there was stuff that she took all the stuff she needed and then didn't come back to the house. And so there was 13 truckloads of garbage and her business stuff that I had to take to the dump that I had to pay for that she didn't want anymore. So it's like, okay, well, you're not going to come deal with this. I got to deal with it. I got to clean out this house so we can sell this old. Like, I got to get rid of this stuff. And so I had to deal all of that on my own. She had her boyfriend helping her move her stuff. I had nobody, right? And so it was like, there wasn't resentment towards her because I knew this is what she needed to do to feel safe. But I had to forgive her on a daily basis for all the stuff that I was going through, which was hard. It was really hard. But that's how I was able to love her through all of that, was from a distance. So as much as I could love her, I have loved her. And if that looks like me just giving her money, because that's all she's capable of right now, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm laying my life down daily for her. But
Yeah.
that's not right. This is just the path the Lord has me.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. So did you hear what I was going to in his story, right? Where and with my story and what's happening with your wife too, it's the same. They're in the same. They're locked in. The women that are like this covert narcissist are stuck in the victim, massive victim insecurity trauma. They're gonna play it out,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna be a 2 year thing. It's like I'm still going through crap with my ex-wife, and we're what we got divorced in 21, April 21, and it's already 5 years since we've been
Yep.
divorced. And my kids, like my son, even like called her a whore to his gym teacher 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Mm.
Right? Because she went from Dennis. He knows about the affair 2 years after he got married, and then he knows about Dennis, and he knows about Lewis, and he knows about the black guy, the Brazilian cokehead, and then she comes back to me, and then she leaves me, and then moves in with her friend Luca, and I don't know if they're dating, but like she's like, I'm not going to confirm nor deny, right? So what do I do with that? I'm like, obviously for me, the best thing, and I mentioned this before, the best thing that ever happened to me is the divorce. Why? Because it set me free and allowed me to become who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So these are just some of the things, Annie, that you have to start looking at. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it sucks. Yes, there's a lot of emotion there. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of betrayal. But at the same time, you have to look from a year from now, 2 years from now, where you could be, where you can be.
Oh yeah.
In your power, in your light, and maybe in a better relationship with another woman that's going to be better than her.
Absolutely. No, that's. I mean, I'll be honest. I pray pretty much daily that God gives her the husband that she needs, and if it's me, okay. If it's not, okay. I mean, I'm completely I'm at peace with the fact of what took me a long time to get to the point of, and I was really glad I got that email just saying I do not want to reconcile. It was the breadcrumbs for the last 5 months that just kept me emotionally hanging on. So when I saw that was like, okay, because it's the defense mechanism that I have that, okay,
Yeah.
when you say you're done with me, then I'm done with you. And I know that's not a good thing necessarily, because that's what's built up crap in me historically. So I'm glad I've, done a lot of this work to let it out. But the things that choke me up were like before I was, things would choke me up if I was like, if I said I'm getting divorced, it would get me. The only thing that chokes me up now is when I say I don't want to hurt my children. I don't want my children to get hurt. And to me, that shows that I'm in the right emotional place to be able to be like, all right, we're in a business transaction now, you and me. We're not in a relationship anymore. That relationship that we used to be in, that doesn't exist.
Dead. It's dead.
And if you come to me in 2 months and they're like, oh, things are different now. No, yeah, they are different now. You've taken it. If this is the line, you've taken it all the way to the line and over. So that, and again, doing the looking back, the 20 years of the same stuff, it's like unless you're willing to really go in and do deep work and want to reconcile. I mean, that's, again, covenant takes two people. Agape is a choice. You're not choosing either one of those two things. Those two things have to exist to have a successful marriage. If those two things don't exist, you don't have a successful marriage, in my book. I mean, that's just kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. It's technically, like Lana, for example, she left. We started this business together, but it was always the breadcrumbs. Oh, you had a golden opportunity to get me back and really have me again. We could have gotten married. I'm like, with what? You're here. There's no intimacy. There's no relationship. There's nothing. I come to talk to you and ask you for help. You shut me down, abuse me emotionally, and tell me I'm a fucking idiot or a moron and I'm stupid, which is what my teachers told me when I was a kid. So thank you. I'm done. I'm not going to be called an idiot for someone who's, you know, operating something on a higher level than you are, who can't even fucking wipe her own ass, basically, in that sense, right? Knows nothing about business, nothing about taking action. And the best thing is, and what I like about what your wife is, not what I like, but like what's comparable, what's funny to me is that where my wife goes, I'm more capable than you, but yet you get things done. And I go, and I'm like scratching my head. I scratch my head because I'm like, you're more capable than me, but yet I get things done. I say something, I go do it, but you're more capable.
Yeah.
And what fantasy?
Yeah.
Right? What planet are you on that makes you believe that, right?
Well, what I know about my wife, and I've seen it play out over and over and over the years, is when things get hard, she quits.
Yeah.
And
Bingo.
whether
Same
it be
thing.
relationships, jobs, you name it, when it gets hard, she quits. And it doesn't matter. Like I've made changes over the years. It's, oh, I'm too stressed at work, I want to stay home. All right, stay home. I'm too stressed at home, I want something different. I'll take that. Anytime the stressor shows up, I would take it. I would take it off of her.
Yeah.
And something that either we talked through it or I read a book and it really it sat with me heavy is, to have a successful relationship, you kind of have to depend on each other a little bit. And I was like, I don't depend on you for anything. Sex. That was really it, because that was the covenant thing. I can't go get that anywhere else. And intimate and any kind of intimacy with a woman. So like female things, that's you and you only, but I don't depend on you to take care of the kids. I don't depend on you for food. I don't depend on you for security, emotional security. And I'm like, that hit me. I was like, and that is why I know she felt distant, because like, I don't depend on you for anything. And she said, like, I don't feel like an equal to you. I'm like, I don't think you're my equal. Not that I feel like I'm above you, but I sure as hell don't feel like you're pulling your weight. And to me, I feel like that led to kind of the path that we're currently on. Is like, I don't depend on you for anything, because if you had weight, I'd take it. But there was no reciprocation of, let me take some of this burden off of you to help you alleviate some of that stress. And it's not like, I don't want you to go work more necessarily. I don't want you to go do anything, but how about we just not add more stress to my plate? And that would never occur. It's me. You don't emotionally fulfill me. Oh, I don't need this house. I don't need any of this. Well, let's sell it. Oh, well, let's not do that. And it's like, I'm like, all right, your cup will never be filled. It's an unfillable cup.
Yeah. Did I ever mention this to you? You can't love a woman more than she loves herself.
No, but that makes complete sense. And she's the most insecure human being on the planet.
To further that, though, you can't love anybody else more than you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else more than what you are currently loving yourself. That was my biggest problem. I didn't love myself. I didn't have any value for myself. And so I wasn't able to love my wife the way that she needed, because I had so much trauma that I had that wasn't resolved, that I couldn't love her the way she needed me to. So
I can agree with that.
Until
I agree with that 100%.
I wasn't like things. So much stuff has shifted and changed since that happened. So it's not that you can't love her more than she loves herself. You can't love anybody else more than you love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really true. Because as you just said, the cup is half full, half empty. Like there's no love for her, but like if your cup is half empty too, then you're both trying to fill a cup and leaving one empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
She needs love to live. You need respect to live. And so if she's not respecting you, you're not getting what you need. And if you're not being respected, you're not going to want to love her And so it's a vicious cycle, right? But
Yep.
once she starts respecting you, you're able to give her the love she needs.
Yep.
Just stop respecting who you are and what you're providing and all of that stuff.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah, and she shows that she doesn't respect you by her actions and trying to
Yeah.
manipulate the numbers for the school and the business, and
Yeah.
you know that she thinks she's going to get away with something, right?
Oh, yeah.
The fact that she feels and her lawyers feel that they're going to manipulate and try and gaslight, scapegoat, and put you in a situation or try to put you in a situation where she's going to walk away with the pot at the end of the rainbow is all fantasy land, right?
Yeah.
And thank God I got Greg on the call with you. So you guys get connected, and then when we talked after that call, when and then we're like, and then he started texting like a couple of days later. I was like, yeah, I see exactly what you're pointing to here. And especially when you said that text where she's like, I don't want to reconcile. That's where I was like, okay, we're switching gears. Annie needs to switch
Yeah.
here. We're not going to try to save the marriage here, because that right there, I got that same thing, and Greg got the same thing. No reconcile. Okay, we're going to switch we're going to get out of reverse. We're going to go back into first, second, and third, and then up into fifth.
Yeah.
And if you have sixth gear, we're going to fucking go into sixth gear, and we're going to drive it home. Right? Because with a woman like that, unfortunately, they're going to live in their fantasy thinking that they're going to win and live this happy ever after, like, Goldilocks and, up in the castle lifestyle, which they're not. And then they're going to get divorced. They're not going to get what they expected. And they're going to sit there, with, with their pants down, basically, going, what the fuck did I just do?
Yep.
I destroyed my kids. I destroyed my home. I destroyed my husband. I destroyed my life, and now I have nothing to show for it.
Yep.
And then and then maybe she might come back in a couple years, but I don't see her coming back for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. And again,
you might be in a different place. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's the whole thing, and that's and it helps me be like, I don't have the anxiety. I'm not waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning with my mind racing or anything. I mean, that shift has helped me, because that's where I felt I was supposed, like, I found I can operate in that manner. I can operate and go. I can't operate in sitting. I find I have a really hard time with that, and that's why I was, hey, if you want to reconcile, I'll go all in. I'll go all in. Whatever that is. If it, counseling, all the stuff. But it'd be, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, all right, well, if you want to get a divorce, then let's do that. We'll be all in that direction. Let's go. But it was always, well, no, I'm sitting on yellow. And that's, like I said, that lasted for 5 months and no change. And like I said, like you just mentioned, when I got that email, I was like, got it. You want to be able to tell the kids you didn't ask for the divorce. That's all it is. But here's the reality. You have taken every legal step to get divorced the whole way. I haven't facilitated one thing. I haven't accelerated one thing. Quite the opposite. Just like you said, Nick, I've supplied every piece of information in the most timely, organized, clear manner possible. I offered to go sit with her attorney. I told my attorney, I was like, I'll go sit with her attorney and I'll walk her through every single penny. I have nothing to hide. I live above board. I don't have female friends on Facebook. I don't have female friends on Instagram. I've always had guardrails for that exact reason. So I have nothing to hide. And so for me, going in that direction, like you were mentioning, well, I'm like, all right, well, we're going to get divorced. And I open the doors. They're wide open. Come look, because my closet is clean. You can look anywhere you want. And my kids know that I love them. And my kids every one of them individually have said, Daddy, you've been a great dad. You've been an example of love to me. And that's all I needed to hear. And every person else in my life, we joked about it the other day because they were like, oh yeah, she's saying that Andy's angry, and they all laughed. They're like, never seen you lose your cool. And I was like, yeah, because I hold it together. Is it in there? 100% it's in there. But
Yeah.
that's what a man does, is he's able to control what's going on in here. But I definitely, like I said, I admit to it. I had, to your point, Nick, I had past hurts. I mean, like I said, it took Wally talking to me for 35 seconds to start ripping it out of me. So, but I got it out. I mean, I'm staying at my parents' house. I don't have resentment towards my dad. I don't walk in the door. And even though he was the source of a lot of that hurt, I don't walk in on pins and needles or pissed off at him or anything like that. It's out. It's out. So it's just a matter of getting through the process, get the mediation, get some assets split up, and get on with life, and let my kids heal and let me heal. And that's the whole goal, is let's mourn this thing, let's put it in the grave, and let's move on with life,
bingo.
because life's not going to stop.
So true.
Bingo. No, that's awesome, man, and that's the right attitude, right? It's like, it's out of our control. It's out of your control. Nothing you can do to change or shift it. So what do? You follow the leader. She's leading you to divorce, so follow the lead. That's all you can do, right?
Yep.
At this stage, there's no. She doesn't want to reconcile. That's obvious. There's 2007 email, the detachment, the conversation with her mother when your firstborn was born, and we don't need this, and you could see that right there was a big red flag back then.
Mm-hmm.
Of the relationship, that like, oh my god, this woman, my wife's mother, is a covert narcissist herself.
Big. She's not even covert. She's all out.
She doesn't know out. She's all out, right?
She's
right.
all out.
She's all out, right? And then here you are, right? And I think a long time ago, like when we go back to this, before you mentioned that email was before you even had kids, and her being detached, and you somewhere, like I somewhere know that, like, I shouldn't have got married to my wife.
Oh, I made the decision, and I brought this up to her, and she would always defend it and say it wasn't true. But I made the decision very early on. Like, I knew I wanted to marry her. But I remember distinctly, we were getting ready to go out of town together, just the two of us. And I walked up to her house, and she introduced me as a friend to her parents. And I was like, okay. When I said, she's, oh, well, excuses. I was like, we're going off on a weekend together. What are you talking about? Friends don't go camping in the woods, just the two of us. That's not what friends do,
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, yes, it's been the whole way, and it's, and I reckon, I'm like, yeah, you probably got trapped, and you were trying to make it happen, and we had these kids, and I'm so grateful I've got these 3 kids. It's fantastic. But to your point, it's like, you never truly loved me. You loved things about me, but you never really truly loved who I am. And that was always a source of contention, because I wasn't able to be myself without catching hell for it. And and so,
and what sorry, just to jump in for a second, and one thing I noticed too is, and what I'm feeling, because I feel this myself in what you're speaking to, is in some way you also felt trapped, even though you loved her and you wanted to marry her, but you also felt trapped.
Oh, once I started seeing the writing on the wall, like I said, I definitely wanted to be with her, because one of the emails that I had, again, it was very early on, I was like, I don't want to have the same marriage that your parents do, which is, her dad is always gone because he avoids her mother like the plague. I've never seen a man go to the dump 5 times in one day. Who needs to take out trash 5 times in one day? But he's 75 years old. He's still on the road 4 days a week. And I know it's because he can't be in the room with her for more than 10 minutes. And like I said, I said that, and she never she never left. There was no leave and cleave. It never happened. And she
Yeah.
always was in that, and she was fine with being controlled by them. And so to answer that question, yeah, early on, I was like, I don't want to put up with this shit. But
Mm-hmm.
I put up with it. I was like, I will put up with it because that's what a man does. A man can endure all things because love endures all things. And I did. I endured her calling her ex-boyfriend. I endured her going out with and spending the night with her friend and saying nothing happened. And I endured all that because I had 2 little babies in my house, 2 little baby girls, and I wasn't going to have another man raise my children, and so I stuck it out. But yes, there's been more than one thought of that over the years, but I always felt I could love through it. I could push through it, but here we are.
And that's the trap, and that's the trap that we as men fall into because, and it's funny. I'm going to say this. It's maybe it's the power of the P that keeps us in sometimes. And I heard that earlier today, where someone said to me, like, no, not today, yesterday. He goes, yeah, is another guy that was in another program. And he goes, yeah, the power of the P, man. I'm like, I just got into his relationship, and I'm like, yeah, I hear you, and like, but you're still carrying resentment. You're still carrying resentment towards your ex-wife because, well, we have a great relationship. Yeah, but now that you have a new relationship, that resentment you're holding towards your wife is now going on to this new relationship, and now that new relationship you're trying to have is moving away from you. Why? Because you're detached, because you have relationship PTSD.
Yep.
Am I going to go through the same thing that I went through with my wife that I'm going to go with this woman?
Yeah.
Right. And that's part of doing why I continued the work, even during this journey, is do the emotional work and go to these parts of it, get rid of the resentment, the anger, the frustration, the hurt, the wounds, the traumas, clear it all, right?
Yep.
So you can get into the best next relationship. That's why Greg isn't able to get into the relationship he's in with Erica. That's why my other client, Greg McGillen, also got remarried, and he's in now a blended family. They have like 7 girls all together.
Good Lord.
And yeah, it's wild. And he got remarried, and but he's happier than he's ever been, even than his first relationship. And same with Greg. So it's not the end of the road. It feels like it, but I think you're smart enough to know that this has to happen even for you. Is what I'm getting to. I think in a way that you need this just as much as she does, because you still need to grow, and you're growing in your way, and you're going to grow. The funny thing is, she's going to stay here, and you're going to grow like this.
Yep.
Like this, like a freaking rocket ship. You're going to grow.
Yep.
And you're going to be so much more aware, so much more emotionally ready for everything, anything, any woman, for your kids to lead and to take care of them the way that you know and want to as man and the father you want to be to those kids.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nick's smiling. I want Nick, what do you got pick up there?
Well, just what you're saying is, yeah, because he's doing the work. It's what's going to happen. Like it's not. There's no question. As long as you keep doing the work, that's what's going to happen. You're going to leave her in the dust, and she's going to realize what a mistake it was going through all this. But you may be in a different place altogether, and she may want to reconcile that road, and may not be in that place. So.
Yeah.
And you might be in another relationship with another woman, and she's going to be like, "What did I do to myself?" She shot herself in the foot here.
Yep.
So let her shoot herself in the foot.
Yes,
our job. Go ahead.
I was just saying, it's not my problem. I don't have any ownership over that, and all I can do is, operate from a place of love and not necessarily intimate love, but just, hey, you're the mother of my kids and I want the best for you, but I'm not going to continue to go in the ditch with you. You're going to have to be there by yourself. I'm going to be up here on the road and I'm going to be cruising along. But if you because that was an analogy I used for years. I was like, why do you, to feel close to me, I have to be in the ditch with you? Why can't you come up here on the road?
Right.
And because she's like, well, I just need you to walk by me. I'm like, I don't feel the need to go in that ditch. And everything that I've read is like that's actually a healthy boundary to be like, hey, you enjoy, if you want to go and wallow in the muck and mire, enjoy yourself. I'm not joining you in that
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's the thing, and I saw that with Svetlana, and I saw that with Svetlana, and I saw that in the way that when she would go into that space, and she was talking to all these guys on Facebook, that like her friend Alyosha here in Slovenia, to Andreas, the guy that she had the affair with 2 years after we got married. I knew about. I found out about when I had my first kid. And then she hid it and she lied, and then I found myself losing my mind.
Yep.
I was going crazy. I was like drinking heavily, smoking pot like all the time. I always had like weed around and like all the time, and just trying to numb myself. Trying to be a father. Right, so there's pornography. There was partying, weed, and other things, and a lot of alcohol, a bottle of wine a night, at least that, right? Went through having 2 years of vertigo, where I'd be walking down the street or on a bike, and then I'd get this ringing in my ear, and then get cold sweat, and then the whole world would be spinning. And I didn't realize that this was her energy affecting me.
Mm-hmm.
It was her energy affecting me because I'm an empath. I'm sensitive. I pick up everybody else's, junk and emotional junk, and I didn't know how to protect it. So now, as I healed and continue to heal, because I still do the work. I spent 3 days at the beginning of this week doing emotional work because I had to go to 10-year-old Wally, and that took me 3 days of crying every morning and saying to him, "I see you. You're safe. You've done enough. I got you." And connecting with him, and then getting out of feeling myself in pity party in a victim mode a little, and having to pull myself out.
Yep.
But what I didn't have before is I didn't have the tools and understanding that I needed to do that. Now
Yep.
I do.
Right.
But like, it's a never ending journey as you climb the mountain. There's always going to be work to do around your emotions.
Yep.
Right? It's not like you go like this, boom, boom, boom. You learn the tools. Like, okay, I feel this. I need to let this out, so you can continue forward in your light, in your power, and in your strength, and lead.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's tough, man, and I'm sorry you're going through it. And like I said, like I think when you sent that text, this was the best direction for you to take. When you sent that to me, because you didn't send like so much information to me, but when I saw that, I was like, oh no, this is no. She's not reconciled. I think Eddie needs to now change gear and go now to war, basically.
And I hate to say it, that's where I thrive. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where I mean, I do it at work. I mean, it's been my job. It's been my job forever. It's like, okay, time to lock and load. Let's roll. Let's go. And it gives me direction. That's if I'm just stagnant. I'll be honest, I've left because I've been working on all this discovery stuff, and I'm not mad while I'm doing it. It's just like, it's like lifting weights. It's literally like, man, putting in the reps. I'm making progress. What else you need? What else you need? There's all 36 items you asked for. What else do you need? Put another plate on. Let's do it again. And for me, and that's the journey. And it's, again, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but for me, it's like, let's get to the mediation table. Let's go.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing because it's building your confidence, right? And it's helping you level the emotion, right? Confidence when we build. That's why we celebrate wins. And like as you're going through this, it sounds like internally, in a way, you're celebrating it. So that's building your confidence, keeping you. When our confidence is high, our emotions are low, right? If our confidence is low, our emotions are high.
Yeah.
So this sounds like you've built your confidence in understanding who you are as a man,
Yeah.
what you're capable of, and how you can lead yourself and self-direct here and in business, right? Because a lot of the times, we treat our wives like a business, or we treat our wives like a man. So,
Yeah.
and then when we go through divorce, I'm sorry to say, this is business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not love. It's business. So, that's where it's like, okay, got to get Greg on the phone with you. Got to get this going. We got to set you in the right direction so you're at your optimal best responsiveness, right?
Yeah.
And what Greg said too, as we talked about it, is like, especially when she went into the discovery part at this early stage, that was like, oh, she's going for the throat here. She's going for the jugular. She's going to try to get
Oh yeah.
as much as she can.
Oh yeah. It's kind of sad because she's paranoid too. Because like some of the questions are like, you need to disclose who your investigator is. I'm like, I don't have an investigator. What are you talking about? I mean, wanting all the cameras shut off and everything. I'm like, you're like in an area of neurosis at this point. Like, do you really think that I want to know what's going on with you every second of every day? I don't. And if you do, what are you hiding? I mean, that's the whole thing for me. It's like, well, now I know you're hiding something. Like, where's the credit card statement? Oh, you're not going to share it until I have to formally pull it from you. You're hiding something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, just let the truth take care of itself. And that's, like I said, for me, I'm completely at peace because I have nothing to hide. I'm completely
Yeah.
confident in that realm of I have nothing to hide, because every haymaker that her attorney tries to throw, I just laugh and I'm like, either she's telling you a load and you're that dumb, or you're just that dumb, because some of the stuff that comes in, I have a hard time believing that she's that dumb. She's been in this field for 20 years. I'm really starting to think, I'm like, Christy's feeding her a load of shit just like she's feeding everybody else a load of shit. And when she steps up to that mediation table thinking that she's got her ducks in a row, and they both find out they're standing there with their pants around their ankles, it's going to be an interesting thing to be like, oh, she didn't tell you that? Oh, well, here's the documentation. Here it is. Here
Yeah.
it is. So I can walk in my light and knowledge that, again, I've exhausted any and all efforts. I'm putting in the work. I'm there for my kids, and I'm good with it. Like I said, I don't sit there and crying in my pillow. Oh, woe is me. Nah, this is what you want. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah. 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 It's unfortunate, but yeah, I think it's a necessary thing that has to happen, especially for you.
For me, it was the faith component. Like I said, when I
Yeah.
finally, because like I said, I mean, God showed me Mark 10. I mean, he showed it flat to me. But as I continued to dig deeper and deeper and deeper about covenant and what agape meant, I was like, well, I haven't broken the covenant. But to have a covenant, two people have to enter into that covenant. And if the other one is not, God has told me if the person has broken the covenant of marriage, even though I don't approve it necessarily, you're allowed. And so it's like,
Yeah.
I've done my piece, and I'm at peace
Yeah.
with you. So
Awesome, brother. Hey, question. Do you want to have a call maybe tomorrow, Monday, or around your kids and the end of the month, next month, and moving forward, or do you want to wait?
look, Wally, I can't do tomorrow. I might be able to. Let me look at my schedule after we get off the
Yeah.
call, and then I
Yeah.
can shoot you a WhatsApp message if that's cool.
Or yeah, there should be some times that work for you, and I'll make it work. All right.
All right, cool.
And
Nathan,
no, awesome, man.
sorry for holding the whole thing. Jeez, are you all right over there?
Oh yeah, I'm just behind on a working. I didn't want to miss the calls. But yeah, Andy, buddy, you're in my prayers, and
Thank you,
yeah, man,
brother.
I just
the courage and the transparency and the honesty, man. It does shine, man, and be encouraged that you're showing some real shining colors here. Just hearing how that is, I mean,
yeah
it's painful. You are being that warrior man standing in the pain, not lashing, holding his ground, and doing it with clarity and clarity. That's what I've heard. Being share the
yeah.
And your
yeah.
kids are seeing it.
And what I want to say too, because Nathan, like just quickly recap last weekend what we were going through, right, with your wife and what was coming up for you, and how like right, go give it like a 5 minute recap on that. Just to give Andy some intel on the last week's call. What showed up on this call today, and what transpired for you last week.
Um, sorry, you're gonna have to. I'm trying to.
All right, so your wife is talking about all this crazy, like blaming you and shifting responsibility, not taking responsibility, and it was something like she's saying things to you or blaming you for something you had nothing to do with, and
Yeah, I mean, there's some. Yeah, some definitely things where like what I've understood now is, like it kind of like it relates directly. Andy is it mentioned like her and what she has going on in her, and sometimes I would sit there and be like heck does this have anything to do with me? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like what the heck is that? Like it literally, it's like where it's setting off your radar as a. Sometimes we just don't. Yeah, it's true. Other times when it's really like straight up like not even a question. Uh, it just how do I regulate myself in a safe, be a safe space for whatever that looks like. It's nothing in my control. Like it's not. But um, how I show up and it for myself and also just actually be not feeding into what's going on. It's hard, man. When I heard your story, for example, like I was a couple months, it's like, oh my, like I would have been. It got me, and I'm not even in it. So
Yeah.
like, but that's what I mean is it's like being able. It's call it strong, but it's like anticipating, what's coming, and uh, and just like me with my wife and now my kids. I mean, they don't talk yet, so it's
Hmm.
but like whatever's coming at you to be able to stay like regulated and on point where it doesn't trigger you and it doesn't bother you doesn't mean it won't hurt, no, but yeah, I really had to kind of, it's like this call every time it dials you back in. You remember, where you got to kind of keep yourself and it sucks to kind of feel robotic sometimes in it, you know just like, hey, no, just stay here, but now letting that smooth into like, no, this is how and who I am, this is how I operate in self-control and love and strength and meekness, like that powerful war horse that in a second could take out anybody, but it's chill,
Yeah.
Restrained. Yeah.
loving, and that's, you know the best thing I can relate with here. But just yeah, appreciate you sharing it. It's encouraging, man, because as tough as this is, and it is, like, I you, you're being that powerful, meek guy, and you are very capable. From hearing you, you're very smart and on the ball. You have your ducks in a row, and it's just like, as a guy, I'm like, yep, yep, yep. Like, okay, I'll pray for you, man. That Jesus calls us to walk His way, and that He is Lord, and He knows we are a man and what we feel. He walked as a man. Yeah, yeah,
That's
man.
right.
Just appreciate you sharing that. yeah, for me, all these answer you hope that well, yeah, it's like I won't go into because like, the recognition of what's going on in ourselves has been and I owning the emotion and processing it, not running from it is totally changing the game for me as a man, and
Hmm.
also him then as that man for her, for my daughter, for my relationships or friendships, even now, just who I am, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
and say
Sweet.
you're
Well,
being right now, buddy. Like still, like even how you speak, so you know you are not the same speaker as you were on the call like weeks ago when we first spoke. You're speaking more confident. There's a depth in you I can hear. So yeah, it's
Well,
pretty
thank
cool.
you.
Yeah,
woohoo!
That's
Celebrate
right,
yeah.
that
baby.
motherfucker, Andy, baby. Let's
That's right,
go.
baby.
Woo!
Whoa. Love it,
Yeah.
That's
guys. Great
right.
call today. Thank you all for showing
Uh,
up today.
all right,
Yeah.
All
guys.
right,
Good to
All
guys.
right.
see you.
Have a good
Have
one.
a good
Have a great
weekend.
day.
Have
You
a
too.
good weekend,
Bye.
guys.
All right, bye.
See you.
Goodbye.
Bye for now.